Hi, welcome to part 6. I said it before, but the new writers out there, I'm saying before you put your work out there to a publisher, please copyright first. You can copyright in Washington D.C. if you want, or you want to use the homemade method, but copyright first. I like doing it in Washington because it's cheap and it's quick and it's prompt. So do that. Oh. I originally took book into Boston Library, books into Connecticut Library, books in Manhattan Library. I sent books to Trinidad. Whilst I live in Massachusetts, because I am a Massachusetts citizen, I got my citizenship in Massachusetts when I lived in Westfield. So I drove over to the library. I took there was like people waiting there for this book. A certain man, I saw he was searching my faces as I walked in the door, and I just thought to myself, he's going to be taking that book, and I don't know what happened. And the same reaction happened in Connecticut. What I can see here from this is, all right, Author House sending you little leaflets or whatever to always tell you to buy more books and buy more books, and you could go on and deliver, and you don't know who's collecting it. What could I say about this? But this here, I know that the finger pointing on claim, terrorist business. And why am I buying to sell to give out and say on claim, or somebody pick them up as I drop them off? Forget about it. Terrorist business. All right. I mentioned before that I donated a book of mine, a squatter, to Boston Library in Massachusetts when I live in Westfield, Mass. And I don't know what become of it. And so did I in Hartford, Connecticut, and also in Manhattan. And I don't know what become of those books. They each had one of these, you can peel them off and put them on a book. So I did that. Now, this particular book here is the only proof that I have that my book was manipulated by special interests. This I sent to Massachusetts, to New York when I lived in Massachusetts. And you can see here, that's a zip code there. Went to my girlfriend here in Uptown Washington Heights. You will see here the finger being pointed as on claim by the post office. I paid $5.50 to post this from Massachusetts to my girlfriend in Manhattan. This is it here. And to be truthful, this is the first day I'm going to be opening this since then. I hide it away, to be honest, because at the time I find it strange, because when I moved back to Manhattan, she was still living there. She gave me money, $100, she's from Trinidad also, to go to Massachusetts, as that's the time they were going to jail homeless people in Manhattan. So she gave me the money. There was a job set up for me in Massachusetts, Hatfield, Massachusetts, in a food place that was advertised here in the city. So I rushed she gave me the money and I rushed off to Massachusetts. The job was never there anyway when I got there. I said that misleading. So here you can see I bought this book in the third quarter, 2004. You see, I donated this to her, Leah on top. Okay, and that's, how I showed before in my video how I used to make the little labels and stick them in it. So this label was always also sticked in there. And it was pulled from this. So yeah, They always, a lot of books, all the books that I have donated, the woman who took, my good friend Yvonne Brown, who took my book to Trinidad, she wound up dead. Look like natural causes. Look like, but that's it. So you can make out of it what you want to make out of that. But my girlfriend still lived there then, and that's it. But what it says there, on claim, and we have been friends for many years. So lately I haven't heard of her. She might have a problem, but that's it. That's what I want to show on that. So yes, where the books disappear, God knows. I just want to say, sometimes I go and I brief through YouTube, because I'm a YouTube looker. I love to watch YouTube. And some people comments about, people who publish Vanity Press either too vain or crazy and all this sorts of stuff. That's all right. Thinking it's the freedom of the world, the best freedom of the world, but now to use it sometimes, we come out and say a lot of stupid things sometimes. I do myself. But in the 90s and in the 80s, when all this get hot as ebook, immigrant writers was the big bait. I was the big bait. I wanted somewhere to put my work because I was in a hustle to get my green card. So I want to find a home for my book. So that is one I say. If today I could help others not to fall into my trap, I'll be glad. But remember also, back then in the 90s and 80s, there was not internet guidelines like it have now. We who got burned back then could talk now and warn people. This is where the thinking come in. We could warn people of the danger out there. But when I started, there was no way, there was none of that. There was the Writers Guild, the union and all that. But people, hardly anybody got burned. There was no Ibis House and all these kind of people who had burned yet. But these same publishers today, they themselves, I know from my experience, is being used by special interest people. So there's a lot of players, there's a lot of facts, there's a lot of different angles that is coming in there. There's things that is also strangling these same publishers. It's not just what you see on the surface. So people who don't know this too well should shut up and let people who know it talk. Because I am writing since I am knee-high. And I've been through many doors. And I am not kidding with this subject. Sure, I was anxious as an immigrant without a green card. I went in there. So I was open, vulnerable to be burned. And I'm sure I'm not the only one. So I don't want to hear nobody bullshit. When you're writing me, know what you're saying, because I know this deal. I am not a famous writer, but I know this deal. Trust me, I know it. And I had to advertise for these people. And then, now, I haven't told a lawyer that, because I'm not going in with a lawyer with that burden. You see, you have to separate the shit. You have to divide the sheep from the goat. I'm not bringing special interest to my lawyer. I'm not bringing this and that. If a lawyer have enough brains to see that he do that on his own. But there's a lot of angles out there. So people, when they're making comments about writers, they should know what they're talking about. Because writers, most of them, if they're not new on the thing, they know what they're talking about. Excuse me, and good luck to the lawyer who want to take me on. All right, I mentioned before, and I showed it on my YouTube before, that I did Apple Care. And to hold an Apple Care certificate agreement like this, That's my name, as you could see there on Lexington Avenue, where I lived at the time. To have Apple Care is over 90 something dollars a year, and I had 3 of these to go with. So you can see that the expiration dates on them, how they match up, because my book was copyright in 98. Okay, so each time I did it, I had to pay 90 something dollars. Order House sent me 60 cents is a joke against what I even paid for Apple Care, plus the photos, the voids on the photos, and stuff like that, you know. So I just want authors to see, back then we didn't have the enjoyment that we now have from Google and stuff like that to help us with tech problems right away. So I paid into this, you know. Apple only came to my house one time, apartment, but most of the time I have a problem, I'll call them up and they'll help me out right away, because Apple is one of those easy, very easy for me to manipulate. It was an easy computer, you know. So yes, I paid into Apple Care. Writers today have it easy. I paid money to write my book. I want all the house to know that, and don't forget it.